This gonna be some easy work. Shakur Stevenson says he already fought Ryan Garcia in the past and ain't much changed. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Shakur Stevenson feeling himself after the Teofimo Lopez win. He's a champion in the new division, and the topic keeps coming up at Ryan Garcia. Ryan did a thing. He looked good versus Mario Barrios at 147. Then immediately after the fight, Ryan called out Shakur. So it seems to be a bit of a hot topic. And Shakur, in a recent stream, had basically said that Ryan ain't really changed from the amateurs. Take a listen.
But I beat him before.
You did?
Yeah, in amateurs.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I never know y'all.
Easy too. He keeps saying it was a hard fight, but no, it was easy. He still fight the same way.
Wait, so right, like out of everybody you boxed before, or like everybody you went against, who would you say was like your toughest opponent, or like they was nice, it was cold? You know what I mean?
The only niggas that's nice is the niggas that's with me.
Okay.
Boom. So he was like, it wasn't no hard fight.
But
I beat him easy.
You did?
Yeah, in amateurs.
In the amateurs.
I didn't even know that. I never know y'all.
Easy too. He keeps saying it was a hard fight, but no, it was easy.
He said it was easy for him. Boom. You guys heard it. Now, my thing is this. What I'm noticing in the boxing game, and I'ma always stand up for, I came up in the internet making content on YouTube and whatnot and branched out to multi-platforms. These dudes are comical in the sport of boxing today, right? Namely, this particular clique with Terrence Crawford and like his minions, like whoever, Keyshawn Davis and Shakur, like people in that like concentrated camp, because they all act alike, right? They all act like boxing media is the worst and we can't get a fair shake. Boxing media and YouTubers, they don't know nothing about boxing, but they're so desperate for clicks, then they go to actual non-boxing platforms, which are just like regular streamers that don't know about boxing, and they have to just sit up there and almost get embarrassed because these kids, these Gen Zers, these streamers, they don't do like research when I'm about to have a guest. Like back in the day, Jay Leno or whoever, Arsenio Hall, if they had a guest, either them or their team, they would research it and give some like cliff notes of who, hey, you're about to interview Brad Pitt. Here's his background. Here's what he's been in. Ask him about this. You know what I mean? Whatever. These new streamers, they don't know about boxing, but they keep having boxers on their platform. So I got to stand up for it because y'all allow fake stuff in boxing. How can Shakur and Crawford be like, oh, y'all YouTubers ain't no jack about boxing? But this dude, he don't even know that Shakur fought Ryan in the amateurs. I knew that. I'm just a stupid YouTuber, but I knew they fought. I know who he fought. I know the background. I know how many times like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fought. But then Shakur and Crawford, they were on Aiden Ross's show and he was insulting them, talking about UFC is better. Aiden Ross has his own boxing like brand or whatever, brand risk. But then had two prime boxers, Crawford and Shakur, on his channel, on his stream, and kept bringing up UFC questions, kept saying that UFC is better, right? You had Ryan Garcia who went on that Steiny kid and he didn't know how many rounds a championship fight was. And Ryan was like, I think I can get Barrios out 8, 9, or 10. He was like, oh, so go the distance? What do you mean go the distance? If somebody loses in the 8th, 9th, or 10, how is that going the distance? You know what I mean? So I want the record to show, because I'm always going to keep it real when it comes to this stuff. I'll get to the rant. I got to rant. Let me rant. It's my channel. I'm going to rant how I want to rant, when I want to rant. It's pathetic. It's pathetic to call YouTubers out and say YouTubers don't know ish about boxing, and then you be on all these other streams, and they don't barely even know who you are. They don't know nothing about what you've done. They don't know nothing about belts. They don't know nothing about weight classes. They don't know you was with Top Rank. They don't know Andre Ward was managing you, Jay Prince. They don't really know nothing. And apparently they don't do the research for it either. But anyway, that's my rant over. As far as Ryan, make the fight. What can I say? What you want me to do? I'm sorry. Make the fight. I don't want to keep talking about it and go back. I'm from a different generation, if you haven't noticed. I'm not from the little kid streaming. I make money on streams. Anything these streamers can do in terms of setting up streams and all that and stream keys, I could do all that too. I'm very electronic savvy, tech savvy. I could do it probably better than the streamers, to be honest, in terms of setting it up and, getting the camera right. These other people need cameramen to follow them around. I do the camera work. I do the audio engineering. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. So I've mastered my craft. A lot of these streamers, they got good at being on stream and setting that up maybe, but they can't edit like me. They can't do no camera work like me. I know that. You know what I mean? But anyway, I don't want to keep talking about it. Just make the fight, period. If Ryan is easy work, because that's like me saying I beat LeBron James when he was at St. Mary, St. Vincent or whatever. I beat him in high school. I don't care. Nobody care about that. Can you beat LeBron James, now or in his prime? It don't really matter what happened in the amateurs. It don't really matter what happened in sparring. So as far as that, I guess, if Shakur wants to bring it up or whatever, it was an easy fight. You've progressed. You're better. I'm sure Ryan Garcia, even though Shakur said he fight the same way. I mean, even if that's true, which probably is, I'm sure that an intelligent fighter like Shakur probably studies his craft a little bit more and fine-tune, working with Bud Crawford. You weren't doing that maybe in the amateur. So sparring Bud, you got to learn little new tricks and stuff. But even if Ryan fights the same, he also, came into his man strength and stuff like that versus before. You also had headgear and a different scoring criteria. So it's a different fight. And the problem with Shakur, I'm going to tell you in 1 minute or less. He is a great fighter, very skilled, but he's inconsistent. If you listen to him in interviews, what he says typically does not match what he later will say, right? Like, it's just not consistent. A man got to be congruent with what he says and does, right? So Shakur, he'll be like, oh, Ryan, I thought you was bigger. You ain't really even that big. He literally said that after Ryan beat up Barrios and dominated him. Oh, Ryan, I thought you was a lot bigger. But then in the same breath or in the next interview, he'll tell Ryan to fight at a catch weight or put rehydration clause. You just said the man was not that big. Why he got to fight at a catch weight or rehydration clause when you look like you're filling out and you look like you have the skill, we know that, but it looked like you could fill out at 47. These dudes are not fighting at their real weight. I've been on that. I've been telling you that about Gen Z fighters. So you can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, Ryan, you don't even look that big. But then you want to tax him with a weight stipulation. Tank Davis, he never did that. We know Tank Davis. We could look at him and see that Ryan is up here in height and Tank is up here. When we see Ryan and Shakur, it's maybe like this. It ain't this where Tank's at. And Tank is not also doing interviews contradicting himself left, right, and center. So you can't say, Ryan, oh, you're not that big. You're not that good. You were easy in the amateurs and you fight exactly. Okay, then fight him at 47. Prove your point. Then you'll be a champion because you just got a belt in another weight class. That's better for your legacy. And it's a better fight. Ryan fighting at 44, he looked like he barely could make 47. His face was all sunk in. I don't want to see the fight if Ryan got to make 144 at this point because it don't look like he can barely even make 47. So if you tax him another 3 pounds, he going to be toast. So where I'm from, we call what Shakur does double talking, where you talk out both sides of your neck and say this, and then in another interview you say that. And for me, I'm going to call it out 100% of the time because that's how I get down. You can't see Ryan in the flesh after a dominant win and say, hey, you little, you not even that big. Devin Haney do that, oh, you little, you little. All right, if you little, then Shakur should fight him at 47. He's, after all, not that big, right? And then you had the whole Shakur saying he would fight Conor Benn at 154 or 47. Then people started clamoring for Shakur to fight Devin Haney. They're like, hold on. Conor Benn ain't got no belt. Why are you going to fight him at 47 and not Devin Haney? So you want to start the Nepo baby? You want to fight the Nepo baby who's shorter, and you want to fight him at 47, who started boxing at 17, 18 late in the game. But then Devin, who we watch y'all spar at the Mayweather gym, you talking about, nah, he need to come down to 44 or a rehydration clause. Again, double talking. And then you looked at Ryan in his face and looked him in the eye and say, you're not even that big, when Crawford was right there in oblivion, and Ryan had just beaten Barrios and had the strap around his waist. So, or his shoulder. Okay, so Ryan's not that big. We watched Devin fight Ryan. Ryan was bigger than Devin Haney. So either way, Shakur is trapped because Ryan's not that big. Okay, then don't tax him and make him come to 144 when you clearly can move up to 47 and have the skills to do so. And guys like Floyd constantly fought bigger people. You want to be mentioned with the greats in Mount Rushmore, this is how you do it. Then we know Ryan is bigger than Devin Haney. We've seen it. We watched him fight and we've seen him face off. Ryan was bigger than Devin Haney, so why not fight Devin Haney? If Ryan ain't that big, then that means Devin Haney ain't that big. So why are you taxing people? Point proven. Let me know how I did. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I'm the best in the business and not even close.